Alex Rizzo, and our distinguished leaders, the Honorable Dr. Steve Galvin III, our school board member, District 1, and Dr. Jose Fodris, the Miami-Dade County Public Schools Superintendent. We also have in the audience Dr. Yesenia Ponte, our North Region Assistant Superintendent, and her director and my boss, Mr. Leon Baycott, North Region Director. And on behalf of the administration, students, we welcome you to our TP, where we believed we could and we did. We earned our first ever A in our school's history. We are also proud to announce that during the 2023-2024 school year, we had a graduation rate of 93%, the highest in the school history. Even more to celebrate our distinction as an A-rated school, we are also the first time recipient of the Bronze Stem Gold recognition for our school. And that's not it. To add to our accomplishments, we have for the first time 9 posse semi-finalists for Miami Carroll City Senior High School. These achievements, they all reflect the dedication of our students, our staff, and our community. And we mark a powerful new chapter in Chief Nation history. You see, for 6 decades, our school has embodied perseverance, triumph, and also transformation. And this year, we will continue that tradition with expanded programs in our magnet and career pathways and innovative dual enrollment options that will ensure that every student is prepared for college, career, and life. Whether our students' passion is in academics, entrepreneurship, performance, or athletics, Miami Carroll City Senior High School offers programs, resources, and support to bring that dream alive. And as your principal, a lifelong chief, I lead with unwavering belief. If it's not good enough for mine, it will never be good enough for yours. This is more than a new school year for us. It's also a celebration of everything we built and everything we are becoming. Because we believe we could and we did. Mission accomplished. I'm honored to introduce one of our platform guests to you, Dr. Steve Galvin III, District 1 School Board Member for Miami-Dade County Public Schools. He was elected in 2016 and he was re-elected unopposed in both 2020 and 2024. With over 30 years in education, he has served as a teacher, an assistant principal, district administrator, and superintendent. Because Dr. Galvin also graduated magna cum laude in English education from Florida A&M University. And he earned a master's degree in educational leadership and a doctorate in education administration from Florida International University. He also completed his postdoctoral leadership programs on school reform at Harvard and Stanford universities. As a school board member, Dr. Galvin has successfully proffered over 100 board items advocating for positive changes in education and for all of our students. And in addition, he is the creator of and host of a show entitled Real Talk with Dr. Steve Galvin, which is a platform dedicated to discussing education and related issues. He has also been a guest on a national platform. Networks like CNN, MSNBC, to provide insight and perspectives on educational and related topics. And in 2022, Dr. Gallup was the recipient of the Florida School Board Association's President's Award for Outstanding Leadership and Consensus Building at the local, state, and national level. And in 2025, Dr. Gallup was honored as Man of the Year, honored by the National Council of Negro Women, and received a special commendation for the Banya Lummi chapter of Kappa Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome our school board member for District 1, Dr. Steve Gallup III.
Good morning, Chiefs. Do this again. Good morning, Chiefs. Hail to the Chiefs. And hail to Principal McKinney for the outstanding leadership, legacy of learning, and the exceptional love that she has displayed in Paris City Senior High School and this entire community. I bring you greetings on behalf of the school board of Miami-Dade County Public Schools and as your District 1 representative. I'm deeply honored and humbled to be joined here today with the Commissioner of Education, the Secretary of the Lottery, my good friend, State Representative Alex Rizzo, and our Superintendent, Dr. Jose Dotres. I want to say that you as ninth graders are entering into a very special place. A place that has proven its leadership, a place that is committed to learning, and a place that has an abundance of love for you, not only as students at Carroll City Senior High School, but as students in District 1. You also are leading into a legacy of achievement. That legacy of achievement, as indicated by your principal, is in the first A rating of Carroll City Senior High School. Let's give them a round of applause. Despite the introduction that Dr. McKinney gave me, which I was not anticipating, I thought that it would be a very brief introduction, but I'm very, very humbled and honored with the words that were displayed. I want to say to you, if you're going to have this reaffirmed by the Commissioner of Education, the Secretary of the Lottery, our Superintendent, and other speakers, I want to say to you that it is not where you come from, it is where you're going. But when you get to where you're going, don't ever forget where you came from. This morning, we have a special opportunity to engage our Commissioner of Education, our Lottery Secretary, as it relates to things that are in place for you now and for your future. When I look at graduating from Miami Northwestern Senior High School in 1987, that was 1 year before the lottery was actually adopted. Subsequent to that time, since 1988, I've had an opportunity, obviously, to travel the country, and I want to say to you, you're special because you're students of Carroll City Senior High School. You're special because you're students in the Miami-Dade County Public Schools. Yes, you're special because you're students in District 1, but you're also special because you're students in the state of Florida. The state of Florida, unlike many states throughout the country, has been intentional in its investment, not only in your education in the present, but in your education, learning, and lifelong success in the future. You're going to hear more information as it relates to how those investments have taken place since 1988 and how they have been put in a position for you to have knowledge, to have information, and ultimately have power over your learning and over your future. You see, when I sat in an auditorium as a ninth grade student at Miami Northwestern Senior High School back in 1983, I did not have the framework, we did not have the intentionality, we did not have the Commissioner of Education, the Lottery Secretary, the Superintendent, the State Representative, to come and speak with us about not just the possibilities of learning and lifelong success, but the probabilities of learning and lifelong success. The state of Florida has been intentional in designing a framework to remove every barrier, which the number one barrier is money, finances, for you to go on in a post-secondary experience, whether it's college, technical schools, or whatever your learning, heart, and aspirations desire. So I want to commend the commissioner, and I sincerely want to commend him. And I said this to him privately. Anybody who knows me, when I say publicly, I say privately. When I say privately, I say publicly. He doesn't have to be here. As a lifelong educator, the law of proximity has always resonated with me. And that is individuals who understand that I have to be in close contact, in close proximity, up close and personal with the people that matter the most. And your presence, Commissioner, sends a strong message that you recognize, you embrace, and you're demonstrating that our children, our students, matter the most. Let's give them a round of applause. So again, want to commend you for your outstanding achievement, and I want to again challenge you as ninth graders to continue the legacy of leadership, to continue the legacy of learning, and in all your works, continue the legacy of love that is reflected in Miami Cares City High School. Congratulations, may God bless you, and may the wind continue to be at your back.
I'd like to introduce a very special person who did not find it wrong to be with us this morning. It is our superintendent of schools, Dr. Jose Dotris. He has been a lifelong educator, beginning his journey as a student right here at Miami-Dade County Public Schools, where he's a proud alum as well. His mission has been grounded in uplifting the potential of every student. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in celebrating and welcoming our school superintendent, Dr. Jose Dotris.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Listen, it's always hard to go after Dr. Gavin, but let's see what we can add to the storyline. I, like Dr. Gavin, I want to thank the commissioner. This is my second time walking schools and engaging in an understanding of our school district. Dr. Gavin could have not said it any better. Thank you for being present. Thank you for learning about us. The struggles, the challenges, the success, it really means a lot for us, for you to be here. And I also want to talk a little bit about this incredible principal that you have at this school here. Dr. McKinney, how long have you been part of Miami Carroll City Senior High School?
Years ago, I started here.
As?
A teacher.
She started here 30 years ago as a teacher. And then when she was an assistant principal, I was working really, really close to her. The time for Carroll City Senior, we were struggling. So this is a principal committed to this community. And not only is Carroll City Senior High School an A, but the school that most of you came from is now a B, Carroll City Middle School. So, Dr. Gavin, this feeder pattern is so important to you. They are rising and achievement is increasing, and that's something for us to celebrate. In addition to that, if I'm not mistaken, Carroll City Senior is experiencing an increase in enrollment, and that is something to celebrate. But today, we're going to have a very strong opportunity for you to learn about what is the next step and what you can do after you graduate from high school in terms of all these opportunities you have. But we're trying to do something here in our school district that is important, right? Not only do we want you to graduate with a high school diploma, but we want you to go high school diploma plus. What does that mean? You're graduating with your high school diploma, but you're bringing along dual enrollment credits. Some of you will get your high school diploma and also have an AA degree. And then on top of that, something that we've been working a lot on is you can graduate with your high school diploma and have stackable credentials. That means industry certification across many different areas. So you are getting ready to prepare for a wonderful high school journey experience. But to get you to college or to get you to a technical career center and to guide you into post-secondary options, there's always a special team of people that make it happen in the school. And I want you to celebrate them along with me. And that is your incredible student services team. Thank you, Team Stand. Thank you. Stand. Right? And with that said, let me introduce our next speaker. So I want to make sure that they have plenty of time to really tap into all of the resources that you have. And I know our student services team will make sure that the students learn about this. Great start, 9th grade. We're all here for this. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you a gentleman that has dedicated over 25 years of his career to both private and public organizations. He's devoted to making sure that students have opportunities, and sometimes in particular students that have needs. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the Secretary of the Florida Lottery, Mr. John Davis.
Well, good morning, good morning. I'll try it again. Good morning, good morning. We saw how much energy we had the second time around. I appreciate that. What I would like to do, first and foremost, I just want to thank Dr. McKinney, and as well as each and every one of you all for having us here this morning. Truly appreciate that opportunity. As I mentioned, I'm fortunate to be able to serve as Secretary of the Florida Lottery. And I know some folks may be asking, what the heck is the Secretary of the Florida Lottery? It's just a fancy name, a title for denoting that I have the opportunity to lead that agency. The Commissioner has that opportunity as well to lead our education here throughout the state of Florida, an entire department. And we're fortunate to be appointed by the Governor to serve in this role. As mentioned, when we begin to think about the reason we're here today, we really want to talk about the Bright Futures Scholarship Program. Is what I'll be able to touch on today. And the Commissioner's going to follow up, and we're wanting to talk about workforce. We're wanting to talk about the life after high school. But this is where it starts, right now, in your role as a 9th grader. Of course, some years ago in which I was seated in the auditorium in which I grew up, I'm from a little small town called Pahokee, which is down in Palm Beach, or actually up in Palm Beach County. And I'm sure there's some folks that anybody has ever heard of Pahokee? All right, that's what I'm talking about, Pahokee Blue Devils. Now, there's one thing about the Pahokee Blue Devils, as well as that area in which I grew up, is we have a tendency to produce some pretty good athletes. A lot of good athletes in Pahokee, attend the various schools here. Many of them have gone on to play professional football and gone on to do great things. What I would like to talk to you all about today, in being the Bright Futures Scholarship, growing up in Pahokee, having a chance to leave Pahokee, being a part of our football team. Once I graduated from Pahokee, I attended Florida State University on an athletic scholarship. I obtained a full ride scholarship to play football at Florida State University. I was the #1 ranked safety in the entire country. They told me that there was no one better than me at that position. I was fortunate, I was blessed, but it just didn't come naturally for me. I worked hard, I was committed to excellence. I was determined to be the absolute best that I could be on that football field. But not only was I determined to be the best football player in the nation at that role, I was also committed to be the best student that I could possibly be. And I was able to graduate in the top 10%, in the top 10 of my high school graduating class as well. So not only did I take care of business on the football field, but I knew how important it was to take care of business in the classroom. And that is something that I know that each and every one of you all have the ability to do as well. And not everybody gonna have a chance to play athletics. Are there any athletes in the room? All right, Carroll City. They tell me Carroll City has a whole bunch of studs and a bunch of great athletes. Uh-oh, I think there's a debate on whether or not there are good athletes here or not. Listen, that is a great talent. To be able to be an athlete as well as attend school is what it's about. And everybody is not going to be an athlete. Whether you're an athlete or you're not an athlete, each and every one of you all here this morning can be a recipient of the Bright Future Scholarship. And that's what we wanted to talk to you about. I received a full ride to play football at Florida State. I committed to Notre Dame, University of Notre Dame. It did not work out for me because my mom wanted me to attend Florida State. I ended up attending Florida State as the #1 safety in the nation, highly ranked, lot of fanfare behind me. I played there, I started for 2 years. After I completed my senior year at Florida State, I did not get drafted. #1 safety in the nation, one of the best in the entire country. I did not get drafted. Went up to Canada, signed with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I got cut. The last cut, I got cut. All I ever wanted to do was to be able to make it out of Pahokee, to be able to take care of my family. That's all I ever wanted to do. I would never forget when I got the word that I was being released, went in the bathroom, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I began to cry because I felt like I had just let my family down. Because all of this hard work, everything that I've done to get here and not to be able to play in the NFL or the Canadian Football League was devastating. But because I did what I needed to do in the classroom, because I had teachers, I had coaches, I had individuals that were on me while I was in school and told me, you make sure that you take care of business in the classroom as you do on the football field, just in case it doesn't work out. You will have something to fall back on. And I am grateful for every single one of those individuals, as well as my mother and others who were committed to make sure I did my part. That's the reason why we're here today. We want to make sure that every single one of you all, early on in your career, right now as 9th graders, this is going to go fast. Before you know it, you'll be a senior. But in order to prepare for life after high school, we would love for you all to start right now. Not tomorrow, right now. And that's the reason why we're here, to be able to share the opportunities that exist. Because I received that full ride scholarship, I did not, and I do not have to pay 1 penny towards any loans or anything. That dedication and commitment was there. It's the exact same opportunity that will exist as it relates to the Bright Future Scholarship, in which you all will hear more information about, in which we will pay your tuition for you to attend any state school here in the state of Florida. If you're interested in going to college or interested in one of our universities, we'll pay for it. And for those individuals, and I'm gonna be clear here, there are some individuals who say, you know what, I'm not sure if I want to attend college. First of all, my mama would tell me, you're going somewhere, you're getting out of my house. So we want to make sure that each and every one of you all are prepared to do something. Vocational or technical school are options as well. We want you to prepare right now to be the best that you can be in the classroom. And for the athletes out there, continue to grind. But you need to do the exact same thing and have the exact same energy for your classroom as well. You want to be able to control your destiny on what you do. The reason why the principal, the teachers, our superintendents, and everyone, and even our representatives who represent you all in making sure that you have the resources and the tools you need is because they not only care about you, they truly love you. They are committed to making sure that you all have a chance to do anything that you want to do. There is no excuse whatsoever. Dr. Galvin mentioned earlier, it's not about where you start, but it's about where you're going. I grew up in the projects. I never, ever could imagine that one day a young man from the projects in Pahokee would have a chance to become the secretary of the Florida Lottery, the third largest state in the entire country, appointed by the governor. This little boy from right here in the projects, they got in trouble at times, but I always made sure that I was focused on doing the right thing and trying to make my mom and my family and my coaches and my teachers and those individuals that invested in me happy. Each and every one of you all can do whatever you want to do. Never ever let anybody tell you that you're nothing and that you can't be the best that you can be. Trust me, it's within you. Greatness is within you. And I just thank you all for giving me the opportunity just to be able to talk about my upbringing, the opportunities that I had. I was on a trajectory in which no one could have told me I would not be in the NFL. But it didn't happen. And that's a part of life. And sometimes we plan to do things and we think we deserve it. And oftentimes we do. But things happen. But will you be prepared? Will you be prepared? And that's the reason we're here. You are in control of your destiny. And I appreciate from the bottom of my heart for you all giving us the opportunity just to be able to be here to talk about Bright Future Scholarship, to talk about some other things in which our commissioner will address here shortly. And his story is unbelievable. I mean, he's a Miami-Dade graduate, lived, born, raised here as well. Although Palm Beach County is much better than Miami-Dade, we all know that. All right, I'm only kidding. I want to be able to walk out of here. I'm only kidding. But that's what life is about. It's time. It's a time in which it's time for us to take care of business. We can have fun doing it. So enjoy your time in school. You're here. And don't think about it as if I'm having to be here because they forced me to do it. This is all about preparation for life once you all have a chance to leave high school and become adults. There is no reason that any of you all can be seated on the stage, can be responsible for this school, can be the president of the United States, can be the governor. You determine what it is that you want to be. And in this country, I don't care where you're from, it's not perfect. By no means is it perfect. None of us are perfect. But the opportunity that exists in this country is greater than anything imaginable. I've had a chance to travel this world. I've been on various continents. I've been in different countries. No matter where I go, at the end of the day, I can't wait to get back here to the United States. So you all, please continue to give us your undivided attention and paying attention to things that we want to talk about. I just want to leave you with a couple of nuggets. Just nuggets, what I call nuggets of wisdom. Things that help me, and I still live by today. Number one, prepare to be the absolute best at any and everything that you get involved with. Prepare to be the best at any and everything that you get involved with. Don't have step on anything that you're involved with. I've always said, doesn't matter what you do or what your role is, you be the best. You give your best. That's all that can ever be asked of. Sometimes our best may fall short. But if you know deep down inside that you have given your best in taking that test, you have prepared because you studied and you did not make the A that you thought you were going to make, you made a B, continue to study. And you will be able to look in the mirror and say, you know, I did not make an A, but I did my absolute best. And I'm going to make sure whatever I didn't do before, that I'll do it better. Number two, always remember to thank those individuals that are invested in you. Take the time to say, Dr. McKinney, we appreciate you. Take the time to tell your parents, your guardians, or even your peers. I have friends, I have best friends, and I tell them sometimes, man, listen, I appreciate you telling me I needed to get my act together. You may think we know it all at a certain age, but take the time to thank individuals and be willing to listen to those individuals. Number three, always do the right thing. Always do the right thing. You're going to be pressured. There's going to be peer pressure. There's going to be individuals and things that tempt you, but always do the right thing. We all know, oftentimes, when someone asks us or try and, persuade us to do certain things, we know it's not right. Be strong enough to say, you know what? I'm not doing that. My mom would not approve of this. My teacher, my coach, whomever would not approve of this. Always do the right thing. With that being said, again, I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to be able to share just a few nuggets with you all this morning. The Bright Future Scholarship is something that is near and dear to me. I received that Fulbright Scholarship at Florida State, and each and every one of you all here, we have money prepared and ready. That's what the lottery does. When y'all see these tickets, Powerball is 1.8 billion or $1 billion, the resources from that, from those adults that are 18 years old, we need y'all to keep playing. That money is sent over to the Department of Education, to a trust fund that is set up and can only be used to be able to pay for this Bright Future Scholarship and other projects and programs related to our education system. So we are invested in you. As a former athlete, we had to go out and earn that scholarship. We had to show that we were prepared and we deserved it. The exact same thing happened with the Bright Future Scholarship. You're here, Pete, and the commissioner talking about what needs to be done to make sure that we fill out the application, to make sure we become a recipient, and we want to keep all of this talent right here in the state of Florida. We want you right here in the state of Florida. So thank you all this time. Now it is my pleasure and the honor to introduce to you all my good friend. This is an individual who we met some years ago, and we have truly become like brothers. And to hear his story and to see the work and his commitment, not just to the jobs he's had before and the job that he has now, the passion that he exudes is not just for that, but it's for individuals. It is for education. It is for doing the right thing. And he'll talk about his upbringing, challenges that he's had, And he is one of you all, truly one of you all, by being a Miami-Dade County recipient of growing up here, born and raised here. And I'm excited to be able to introduce someone who is committed to the state of Florida, and the work that he does is beyond anything imaginable. My good friend, his name is Anastasios Koumoutsas. We just call him Stasi for short so we don't get tripped up. Commissioner Stasi.
Well, good morning, Carroll City. Every time I come here, I want to go to CC's or think of the days growing up as a kid. I'd go to Carroll Mart. Is that still around, Carroll Mart? No. Oh, okay, so not the same. But it's good to be here. Do you guys still have the same chant? Yeah. War chant? Oh! Man, I see why y'all lost 2 games in Orlando. This ain't the same spirit that used to happen out to take Can I get an actual war chant? Am I in Carroll City right now? Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Oh! Oh! All right, Carroll City. All right, we're in the middle. So I grew up right down the road. You guys know where High States is at? Dr. Crop? I went to Dr. Crop High School. I know, yes. Every school I go to, I was at NNB yesterday. I went to Norland, got the same reaction. But when I went to Dr. Crop, we were really good at basketball. And I remember we were actually all in the same district. We would compete against Carroll City, Norland, NNB, Northwestern, Central. We were all kind of in the same district because of proximity. Now things have changed a little bit. But one of the greatest things that I took away from my experience in Crop was being a 5,000 role model. I was one of those 5,000 role models. And can we give it up for the 5,000 role models in the back? These young men are learning what it is to be a productive, contributing member of society, to be a man that is a leader in society. And so whether it's learning how to tie a tie, whether it's going on some of these fun field trips that you all get to enjoy, meeting other 5,000 role models at other schools, it's such a great brotherhood. It was an awesome experience to be able to be a part of that. And so I'm glad to see that you have the program thriving here. But I'm here today, number one, to give you all the shout out because you are now part of an A-graded school here at Carroll City High School. You are coming in to greatness. You are coming in to a legacy. There is a beautiful history here at Carroll City. And to be able to have an A on your back now should be the greatest honor for you as students starting off. The goal that I have for each and every one of you here today is to get at least a 3.0. I know, it comes with work. But you just got here. And I'm telling you, if you set the tone this year, you will see the financial opportunities will open up. The pathways, the doors that are going to open up for you are things you never even would have dreamed of. Again, I grew up in a low-income household, single mom, 3 kids. I was the oldest. And just to give you a little bit of my story, I had to wear the same windbreaker pants. I don't know if you're even allowed to wear those anymore. But windbreaker pants at least 2-3 times a week because I had 2 pairs of pants, a pair of jeans and the windbreakers. And I made a mistake one morning. My windbreakers, I had taken them out to wash and they were very wrinkled. And I don't with my windbreakers being so wrinkled. So I made the mistake of putting an iron on windbreakers. Anybody know what happens if you put an iron on windbreakers? It burns. It burns right through it. And then I had a massive hole in my knee. Well, guess what? When you're wearing the same windbreakers 2-3 times a week, people notice Hey, I've seen you wear those windbreakers before because it wasn't just the fact that they were a pair of black windbreakers, but now they had this massive hole in them. That reality is a reality for a lot of students that grow up in this part of the city. From Crop to NNB to Norland to Carroll City. After this, we're going to Central, we're going to Northwestern. I know what it's like sitting in that chair as a freshman. Trying to be cool, you're hanging out with your friends. What? Oh, we're playing? Oh, all right. There, all right. Great. It's a great background song to have it. But I know what it's like sitting in that chair, coming into a big high school, trying to figure out your way around the hallways. But we wanted to capture you so early that you recognize how important your future is. A lot of times, a lot of the guys that I grew up with didn't even think about what they were going to do after high school until their senior year. Guess what? It's too late at that point. If you're going into your senior year with a 1.7 or a 2.0 and now you're trying to figure out what you're going to do afterwards, it's very difficult. And so we're here today to get ahead of that and to tell you, hey, here's the goal. Here's what you guys should strive for. Minimum 3.0. It can be done. It can be done. You just got here. The expectations need to be high. And here's what happens if you can achieve that. Because I don't know about you, college is not cheap. And so for me, I needed to have a scholarship in order for me to decide whether or not that was the pathway I was going to go down. And Bright Futures provides you that scholarship. 75% of your tuition will be covered if you go off to one of those, colleges or universities, whether that's Miami-Dade, Florida State, UF, UN. 75%, well, UM's private, sorry, but UF, FSU, 75% will be covered. But guess what? Secretary Davis talked about vocational tech centers. And if you get that 3.0, you actually will have 100% of your tuition paid for. And think about it like this. If you get 100% of your tuition paid for, and then you apply for financial aid, which I guarantee you're going to qualify for, now you're going to get grant money from the federal government, and you got your tuition covered by the state. So what does that mean? What did it mean for me? I got full tuition when I went to FSU, and then I got grant money upwards of $10,000. Can you imagine if you got paid $10,000 just to go to school each year? That sounds pretty good, right? Anybody making $10,000 being paid by Miami Carroll City to come to school? No. But guess what? You can do that when you go to college. You can do that if you work hard now. What was I able to do with $10,000? I was able to get braces for my sister. I was able to get a washer and dryer for my mom. Was I able to help her get a new car? I was able to give back to my family. Is there anyone here that, when this is all said and done, wants to be able to give back to your family, help your mom out, help your dad out? Who wants to do that? Exactly. So that's goal number 2. You got to hit that 3.0. That's number 1. Goal number 2. You got to position yourself so you can give back, so you can help out your family, so you can come back to Carroll City as the Commissioner of Education and say, I sat in that same chair as you. I know what it's like to deal with some of the struggles that you dealt with. I talked about how poor I was and my windbreakers. But I remember those days when I would walk my brother and sister home from school and I'd see my door open at my household and I knew that wasn't a good sign. And I'd walk into my house and see that everything had been robbed. You're right. And the one thing I had, that's a good point. The one thing I had this one year that we got robbed, my grandmother gave me $100 for my birthday and she gave me $100 for Christmas. So I saved up for the entire year. At the time, the PlayStation was $200. And so I saved for an entire year to buy a PlayStation, and that had been robbed that year. It was devastating. But that's just one example of many that students that grow up in Northwest Dade experience. But that doesn't mean you cannot be successful. Young people, over here, wake up. Because your future is going to hit you in the face before you know it. You guys all right over here? You let me know. It ain't pretty getting called out by the Commissioner of Education. The reality is, though, I traveled 500 miles to come all the way down here because I want you to wake up and start thinking about these things. 3.0, give it back to your family. What am I going to actually do? Goal number 3. We talked about college, we talked about university, but let me focus on workforce programs and what that means. Who here likes to cook? Raise your hand. Okay. Did you know that you can get a workforce credential through a workforce program and becoming an executive chef, you can make $100,000? Who knew that? That's pretty good money. What about the fact that in the healthcare industry, anybody interested in healthcare, helping people out to get better when they're sick, when they get stitches, when they need, shots? Okay, that as well. You can go through the workforce program and be able to make upwards between $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 immediately going into the workforce. What about mechanics? Anybody interested in fixing cars or fixing boats or engines generally? Okay, I see a couple in the crowd. Again, upwards of $80,000, $90,000, $100,000. Folks, you've been asking yourself this question. Teachers have been asking you since kindergarten. What do you want to be when you grow up? But now is the time to actually start thinking about that. Now is the time to figure out, what am I going to do? Because my future is coming very quickly. And so, the last thing I will leave you with is this. Do not let your circumstances in life dissuade you, distract you, prevent you, stop you from getting to where you need to be successful, to have college paid for free, to have college pay you to go to college so that you can immediately, after this place, start helping your family out. You think it was fun as a kid growing up seeing my mom work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.? You know how hard that was on her? Trying to put food on the table for us, trying to make sure me and my brother and my sister were on the straight and narrow? That wasn't easy. She was always exhausted. But boy, when I got to the point where I was able to give back to her, where I was able to help her, it was extremely rewarding. And so keep that goal in mind. Keep that vision in mind. And think about your future. Your parents love you. Your teachers, they care about you. But at the end of the day, they can't do the work for you. It's your life. You are the one that are going to have to provide for yourselves. And Superintendent Dotrius was right to point these people out here in student services because they stand ready to help you and assist you. Hey, if I'm trying to figure out how I hit that 3.0, which classes, you can get an F in one quarter and an A the next, and that's a 2.0. You can still be redeemed from a failure in a class. Do not give up by an obstacle that you face. And these student services employees are here to help you and teach you and show you how it can be done. Guess what? Carroll City is now in A for the first time in its history. But if you would have told me that 20 years ago, I would have said, wow, that's going to be a heavy lift. Because we knew where Carroll City was at that point in time. But there were teachers, and there were student services folks, and parents, and students like you who worked hard, who took the time to see value in themselves through education. And so it's important that you pay attention. It's important you set goals for yourself here so that you ultimately know what you want to do with your life. You can help people out, you can be a productive member of society, and you can be the pride and joy of Miami Carroll City Senior High School. And so thank you for having me here today. It's been an absolute honor. I'm actually going to invite Pete Hernandez from the Department of Education. He's the content expert. He's going to be able to tell you how exactly you can qualify for this Bright Future Scholarship. Because the last thing I'm going to say is this. Last year, there were 10,000 students who got the 3.0, who got the test scores, who did what they needed to do, and guess what? They never even applied for the Bright Future Scholarship. 10,000 students in this state were eligible to go to college for free or to have most of it paid for, and they decided they didn't take the time to even apply. That's a problem, folks. So pay attention to what Pete is about to say, because it can literally change the trajectory of your life. Thank you. God bless. Once again, good morning, everyone. Congratulations, first and foremost. You are on a path for great success, a phenomenal future that lies ahead of you. So take 2 seconds for me. Shut your eyes and imagine yourselves 5 years from now. What do you want to be? Because we are going to talk about your dream, your plan, your future. You can accomplish it. There is no limit. There is nothing you cannot accomplish. Now, let's open your eyes. Let's talk about reality. So, first and foremost, what is it going to take to qualify for the Florida Bright Future Scholarship? There are several general requirements, most of which are going to be they can bar here. Secondly, they can graduate, get your high school diploma or its equivalency. And more importantly, stay in the state of Florida. We are ranked the #1 school system for a reason, to give you those opportunities. So with that in mind, second thing. Now, as indicated, you're going to have a lot of opportunities. And the Florida Bright Future Scholarship comes in all forms for all your career goals, for your career aspirations. There are 4 levels of the Florida Bright Future Scholarship. First is the Florida Academic Scholar. Second, the Florida Medallion, which are for those academic students. But if you want to go into a vocational career plans immediately after high school and continue your either certification or any goal that you have in mind, we have the Florida GoSeo Vocational Scholarship and the GoSeo CAPE Scholarship. Once again, a scholarship for everyone here. With that in mind, let's talk about the Florida Academic Scholar. What does it pay? It's going to pay you 100% of tuition and academic fees at a state institution, but more importantly, at a private institution is going to pay the equivalent dollar amount. So there is no school in the state of Florida that you cannot go to. There's also, whether you want to be academically, whether you want to study certificate programs, whether you want to study a technical program. Under the Florida Academic, it's going to cover all of those. Now, this is vitally important because once you take the class that you're taking now, start qualifying, we're going to evaluate you for the highest level. And at the highest level, as you can see, it's going to cover whatever education you dream, you plan to make your future feasible. So what does that mean? For the Florida Academic Scholar, there are certain requirements. Those certain requirements are as follows. This is just one path. We're going to go for several paths and get to it. But to qualify for the Florida Academic Scholarship, you need to have qualifying classes. That means 4 classes in comprehensive math, 4 in English, 3 in natural science, and 3 in social science, and 2 consecutive world languages. Those are the core classes. If you designate your future based on taking these classes, by the end of your high school senior year, it will prepare you significantly to take that SAT, ACT, or CLT during that junior and senior year. But more importantly, by taking these classes and you get a 3.5 or higher weighted GPA, you're going to qualify for the Florida Academic Scholar. Now, you're also going to have tests that you need to take, whether that's an SAT, ACT, or CLT. You're also going to have them perform either volunteer or service hours, which now consists of volunteer hours, approved work hours, and that is once again why we are highly recommending you get to know your counselors. They will help you and guide you in what does or doesn't count for and meet these requirements. Now, when it comes to the second level, Florida Medallion Scholarship, very important. They can pay up to 75% of tuition fees at a public institution. But if you enroll in a state college or a technical center, yes, it will pay 100% of tuition fees. That's if you go on from here to Miami-Dade College or Broward College, it pays what's in 100% either at the Florida Academic or Florida Medallion. Now, if you do earn a Florida Medallion, though, it is going to earn 75% of tuition and academic fees once you get your AA or your AS degree. What does that still mean? It still means not hundreds, but thousands of dollars in your pocket that help you pay for college. Now, what does it cover? Once again, if whether you're an academic student, whether you're a vocational student, whether you're your certificate, it's going to help you cover that education. Bottom line, it seems like a lot of information, but once again, mapping it out. Just like you got here, you took one step after another, came here, traveled a long way. Once again, this is your freshman year, your sophomore year, your junior year. You take the required classes, and before you know it, all of these requirements easily met. And then again, once again, if you add those electives to supplement your overall GPA, your overall experience, your overall technical degrees, technical certifications, and you wish to more liberal enrollment, those are going to be valuable resources that you can utilize. Now, what does it take to get Florida Medallion? You're going to see it's going to take exactly the same number of classes, or math, or English, 3 social science, 3 biological science, and 2 consecutive foreign languages. But for the Florida Medallion, it only requires a 3.0 weighted GPA. So if you take a dual enrollment, honors classes, AP classes, those are going to be weighted classes that are going to help you easily achieve that 3.0. You're going to have, once again, your test scores and your service hours. Make sure you do those. And then once again, your senior year, you will submit that application online. But as indicated earlier, there are multiple ways to qualify. Those other ways to qualify are if you receive an ABs and A's, or now a capstone diploma. Those will automatically qualify you for the Florida Academic Scholar or Florida Medallion Scholar. There's also, if you take the ACE scribing curriculum, you can easily obtain your Florida Graduate Scholarship. Once again, not hundreds, thousands of dollars for your education. Now, let's talk about the Gold Seal CAPE Scholarship. A CAPE Scholarship is specifically designated for those students who are going to start off going to a vocational education. Once again, a technical education. You can enroll and get your certificate programs, your AAS programs, or your AS programs, such as you're going to go into, once again, culinary arts to be a chef, to go into the medical field to be a nurse, or to be an auto mechanic. You can take those classes down, and if you take classes while you're in high school, then you are earning post-secondary credits. If you take those classes down and earn at least 5 post-secondary credits, guess what? You qualify for Florida CAPE. And then all you have to do is submit and do your service hours. Now, for the year incoming freshman, that's going to, currently it is 30 hours, but for incoming freshmen this year, that's going to be about 75 hours of service, or 100 work hours, or a combination of both. However, you are in your freshman year, you have all 4 years. Use this criteria to volunteer or to do those hours in your chosen field to see if you really would like to be a nurse, if you really like to go into law, if you really want to be an auto mechanic. Once again, do those hours, document them with your counselors so they appear on your transcript. Now, the Gold Seal requirements, once again, the other benefit is if you get your your AS degree, and then you want to get your baccalaureate degree or your bachelor's degree, yes, then you can actually receive those additional 60 credit hours of funding to receive and fund that baccalaureate degree. It gives you options. It's going to open those doors for you. These are opportunities that are going to empower you to achieve your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. Now, what are going to be the requirements? The requirements are going to be for the Gold Seal vocational, the requirements are going to be very similar. But when it comes to Gold Seal requirements for vocational studies are you're going to have a 3.0 weighted over the overall test, over your overall class in high school. You're going to have to take 3 classes with 3 credits in any vocational degree that you like. You're going to have test scores and service hours. Now, as scores are going to change every year until you get to your senior year. These are goals that you want to have. But by having these goals, you will actually know exactly what you need to have and what you need to achieve by graduation time. And then finally, during your high school senior year, we are going to talk about filling out what's called the Florida Financial Aid application, which is the Bright Futures application, and the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. And by filling those two applications, in addition to your Bright Future scholarship money, you will receive not only funding to cover your education, but once again, not hundreds, thousands of dollars in your pocket for all educational expenses. It seems far away, but it's going to go in a blink of an eye. These are going to be the most phenomenal years of your lifetime. But at the same time, they're going to establish your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. Because that dream that you have, it is a possibility. These gentlemen here are all here, not only to support you, but not only to show you that it is possible, but once again, to support everyone here, your administration, your counselors, but more importantly, you to achieve your goals, your dream, your future. And with that in mind, I turn it back over to Commissioner Cruz. All right, folks, as we wrap up, number one, first and foremost, let's give it up for Principal McKinney for hosting us today. And the cheerleaders who were so energetic this morning. Folks, in all sincerity, be proud to go to Miami Pearl City. There is a history, there is a legacy here. It's something beautiful, and the fact that you are academically thriving, I mean, this place is dang near perfect. It's wonderful. And I hope you understand that. I hope you see value through the education system, that it doesn't matter, about just Colorado University anymore. This governor has championed workforce programs. He's made them a priority, so there's no one-stop shop. You want to be a welder, you want to be a mechanic, you want to fix air conditioning, you want to be a plumber, you want to be a chef, you want to do EMT and respond with fire rescue. Whatever it is you want to do to help people out, to give back to your community, you can do it. You just got to work for it. You got to have these goals in mind. You got to take what all of us are saying to heart. Don't let your circumstances get you down. You have example after example after example up here on the stage telling you it can't be done. To the 5,000 role models, keep leading. You guys have been extremely, extremely respectful and attentive. I've been paying attention to you all. Thank you for what you're doing. Every one of your peers are looking at you when you wear that tie. Wear it as a badge of honor. It means something. There are so many champions who came before you who wore that same tie. Wear it with pride. And so thank you again. Thank you for having us here. And Principal McKinney, thank you so much.
Start off something with us. So before we let you exit, because I know you need to get on to your next goal. First of all, I want to thank our audience because it's a ninth grade student. So we're trying to condition them to our Chief 5. But today, they have their first junior varsity game against Norland. We have another chance to redeem ourselves, right? So we want to say thank you because you were made to have something very special for you and to take along your staff. And thank you again, our secretary. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Thank you so much. And thank you all for being a great audience. And thank you, you know what I want to say especially, and I appreciate it. Believe it or not, listen up. Everyone sit up. My daughter teaches here. And that makes it extra special because I say those words, and I know they all frown when they say 30 years ago, but 30 years ago, when I began as a teacher, I never thought I'd have my own daughter attend or me serving as a principal. But this is very special. He's right. This is a lot of history at Miami Pearl City Senior High School. And for us to achieve the highest achievement in the academic category of an A, my student services team, who is right in the trenches. Our teachers that are around here, right in the trenches. You made it extra special to come and congratulate us, and I want to say thank you for that. And to you all, this valuable information that you received today, to jumpstart this information, because they're now offering to our career in techno. We have a lot of offerings right here. That's remarkable. That's a difference I see in the Bright Future, because I was a Bright Future. I received the funding. So it helps so many students, and for you all to be here to share the information firsthand and make that personal appearance, and you just to get it in a pamphlet or online, let's give him a round of applause. So we're going to have the survey today. When you go to your next school, by the way, you're going, your next stop is with Central. Go ahead and wear that shirt. Let them know you see Carlson. Let's give him that cheek. And you're gonna put that on, and then wait. You're gonna put that on, and you're gonna take it to your next school and stand on your lap like this. Put it on your lap. And I want to see how that goes. Call me if you need me, okay? But give him another round of applause. Thank you all.